matter. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Monday to you and your loved ones. Thank you for joining in. I'm glad that you're here with me. Indeed, happy Monday. And yes, we have amazing books lined up for you this week. And of course, we'll be reminding ourselves of all the wildfires, forest fires that are going on, and just how can we be responsible citizens? What can we do? What is our part? Indeed, how can we help mitigate the situation? Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Another one to remind ourselves of, and another important topic indeed that we'll be addressing this week. And I hope that indeed you join us for all the amazing books that we have for you lined up. And of course, we will be starting off this week with one coming from Chronicle Books, and this one is called A Cub Story, and this one is by KRISTEN, TRACY, and illustrations by ALISSON, FARREL. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today, and glad that you're here with us indeed for this one. And if you remember ALISSON FARREL, she did bring us the hike, or indeed the bikes for sale. That's another one that we'll remember from Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm glad that we're here together, and of course talking about this wonderful book today, but also of course as we tackle an important topic. Thank you. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. I did. It was very restful, very relaxing, and I hope that yours was too. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And of course, like I mentioned last week, there's a new background, everything coming up with Story Time. So keep an eye out of what's coming to you. And I'm sure you will enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And of course, if you're in the Bay Area and would like to support a wonderful organization, the Legal Assistance for Seniors, well, we will be doing a wonderful event at Fairyland. So do join us for that one. Register, tell your friends, tell your neighbors that this event is happening, and we will have a wonderful story time there too. And of course, there'll be music as well, and many other people will be there too. So join in. Let everybody know that this is happening. Come celebrate our community. Legal Assistance for Seniors is hosting this one. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And indeed, I'm glad that we're here together. Of course, we do have a wonderful story today, A Cub Story. And this one, I thought we should read this one today, just reminding us of, the other beings that share this planet with us, and that our actions impact others, affect others. And so how can we be responsible citizens? How can we think more broadly as we engage in activities out there? Thank you so much for joining in. And some of those our bears, our wildlife. Most of us live, especially if you're here in California, you're very close to nature. But how do we make sure that we coexist with other creatures as well? Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And please, if you have ideas, type them away, send them away so that we can share them here indeed and have that wonderful discussion. And of course, it is an exchange of knowledge here that we have. You share some, we share some out here, and indeed together we move forward. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time and welcome. Let us see who is with us today, ready to enjoy a wonderful story and indeed ready to enjoy a week of learning together. Here we go. Good morning to you, Amanda West. How are you doing today? And of course, Sarah and Nathan. And you say happy Monday in a beautiful blue sky and pleasant Illinois. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. One of these days I will go back and collect all these beautiful descriptions of Illinois and see what we can do with them. Beautiful indeed. Thank you so much for sharing. Absolutely appreciate it. Indeed. Amanda, Nathan, and Sarah joining us out in Illinois. A beautiful blue sky and pleasant Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in and sharing. And of course, to everybody that is joining us for the recordings later on, we do say thank you so much for joining in Story Time and sending you love, 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 and much more love. And I hope that indeed you have a lovely summer break if you're on this side of the world. But of course, if you're in Zambia and other parts of the world that side, I hope it's not too cold. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely loving it. Yes, a cub story, a sweet book indeed that we have today. And of course, this one is written by KRISTEN, TRACY, and illustrations by ALISSON, FARREL. Thank you for being here and welcome to Storytime. And indeed, if you're joining us for the recording, remember to leave us a message. Let us know you were here so we can say hi to you. And of course, remember that Storytime comes to you live at 7 a.m. Pacific time now. Catch us for the live. And of course, you can catch the recording at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And you can catch us anytime at your convenience from our archives. Yes, at storytimewithmrlimada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Limada on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for being here today. Always a pleasure to be here together for Storytime. Thank you for joining in. Get ready for a story. Join me on the other side of this message and we'll be right back. Get ready, get comfortable, get cozy, and please remember we do have an important event coming up July 28th. Here we go.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell-Adams. I'm a mama and an artist, and I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. Lamada are so important.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. Thank you indeed. And a very good morning to you, Borden, as well. Yes, let us make sure that we continue to push and for the arts in schools and in many other spaces that we can create them, that we can generate them. And indeed, it is important for our children. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for that lovely message this morning. Lovely and important message. A cub story coming to you from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to them for allowing us to share this lovely book here on Storytime. KRISTEN, TRACY, illustrations by ALISSON, FARREL. And this one coming back to Storytime for the second time and hopefully not the last time. Here we go. A cub story. Ooh. I am a bear. Do you see me? I am a bear. Do you see me? Yes, we see you, bear. We see you. I am a bear. Do you see me? Yes, we do. Do you see bear? All right. All fur, big clothes, one wet nose. All fur, big clothes. Are you showing your clothes too? Ah, big clothes. One wet nose. Oh. Compared to a hedgehog, I eat a lot. Oh, yeah. Compared to a moose, I eat a little. Perspective, right? Compared to a hedgehog, I eat a lot. Compared to a moose, though, I eat a little. How about compared to you? How much does Bear eat? This is my favorite springtime spot. I can sit very still and not do anything. Do you have that spot for you? The perfect spot that you can sit still and not do anything and it be perfectly fine? This is my favorite springtime spot. I can sit very still and not do anything. Above me, hawks circle and smell the forest. Below me, woodchucks do the same. Oh, it is a very complex web, complex ecosystem that we have. Above me, hawks circle and smell the forest. Below me, woodchucks do the same. In the meadow, I am too slow, and the elk thunder past me. Oh, yes. In the meadow, I am too slow, and the elk thunder past me. Beside the pond, I am lightning fast as I gallop ahead of the snails. Can you run faster than the snails? Can you run faster than Bear? Oh, beside the pond, I am lightning fast as I gallop ahead of the snails. In the meadow, though, I am too slow, and the elk thunder past me. Oh. I am an expert at smelling. Sniff, sniff. I always trust my nose. I roll down the hill into blackberry bushes. Yum! My summers are always fun. How is your summer going? Is it as fun as Bear's? With lots of yummy snacks? I roll down the hill into blackberry bushes. My summers are always fun. Or maybe you're an expert smeller, like Bear. Is that delicious breakfast that I smell? Are those pancakes? We play games, eat flowers, climb trees, dig for roots and insects. Delicious, delicious fun activities too. What do you do for your summer? Do you play games too? Do you eat flowers like Bear? Do you climb trees? Dig for roots and insects? What do you do? Oh, Bear, thank you for sharing and letting us know what you do. So much fun. I spend the fall fishing. I use 2 paws. Have you been fishing before? Do you do catch and release? Or do you eat the fish? I spend the fall fishing. I use 2 paws. Yeah. You know, bears are good at fishing, right? When I get wet, I shake. Sometimes I sneeze. Achoo! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh man, sometimes I sneeze. Do you sneeze? Can you sneeze on cue? When I get wet, I shake. Sometimes I sneeze. Achoo! Oh. Snow falls, autumn ends. This is my den. I like it here. Tucked in the back, on top of the leaves, curled into a cuddle lump. It's not too dark for me. Pressed against my warm family with snuggle and hug. This is where I want to be. This is my den. I like it here. Tucked in the back, on top of the leaves, curled into a cuddle lump. It's not too dark for me. Pressed against my warm family with snuggle and hug. This is where I want to be. Yes, indeed. I am a sleepy bear. I close my eyes. I close my eyes and yawn. Can you still see me? Oh, yes, bear, we can. Can you see, bear? Compared to a rabbit, I am big. Compared to a chipmunk, I am huge. With my mama, I am just right. Yes, indeed. With my mama, I am just right. Oh, there. The end. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I hope you enjoyed that lovely story indeed that we had together. A cub story. And I hope that's how you feel about your home. I hope it's a space that where you feel and want to say, this is where I belong. This is where I'm comfortable. This is my den. And yes, a place where, just feels right, as the book says, where you're just right. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I am glad that we're here together for this beautiful story, a short one, but indeed an impactful one. And please remember too that, these wildfires that are happening affect not just us in terms of, the air quality and of course destroying of, contributing to carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and global warming, all that. Animals too. Remember, their homes are being destroyed. So next time we're out there, whether you're out camping or whatever you do, if it's designated, remember to light fires only in designated spaces. And if you do light them, and so please follow the guidelines. Make sure that you put them out the right way. Let us make sure that we are responsible citizens when we're out in the wild. We're responsible citizens when we're out in our neighborhoods. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. And remember too, let us protect these animals. Yes, we're all interconnected and we need each other, and so let us make sure too that we're playing a part in protecting this planet. Let us be superheroes for our planet. Thank you so much by doing just the basics, following guidelines indeed. And if we're asked not to light fireworks, for example, in certain places, please do not. There's a reason that those rules are there. And thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And of course, also just wanting to extend a big thank you to all our firefighters, our wildland firefighters out there right now, trying to contain and stop these fires, and lots of work. It is life-threatening work, but we want to make sure too that we just say thank you. But of course, we can help reduce their burden if we do our part. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I am glad that you are here with me today, and hopefully you're here with me the rest of the week to enjoy wonderful stories. I hope that you are having a wonderful summer if you're out here on summer break, and of course I hope that you are having a lovely season, whatever season it is in your part of the world. Hopefully not too cold for those that are having their winter seasons right now. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. A Cub story was our story today. This one coming to you from Chronicle Books, and it is written by KRISTEN, TRACY, and illustrations by ALISSON, FARREL. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Please join me again tomorrow for another exciting book. This time we have a longer book than this one. Is coming from the amazing Sophie Blackwell, and this one is called If You Come to Earth. Yes, what would you tell others that would come to our beautiful planet? What would you tell them about it? What is it that you love about our blue planet? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Join me tomorrow for this one, If You Come to Earth by Sophie Blackwell. Yes, a two-time Caldecott medalist. As you know, we're in for a treat. Join me tomorrow for more story time. Thank you so much for being here today. One more time, let us see who is with us enjoying a lovely story. Thank you to you, Amanda, and of course Sarah and Nathan. Thank you for joining us out in beautiful blue skied Illinois and indeed pleasant Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad that you are here indeed, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day today, and indeed that this kicks you off for a beautiful week ahead. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Always a pleasure to be here with you. And indeed, wherever you're joining us from, whoever you're joining us with, we say high five to them. And of course, sending you hugs and love. Thank you for being here. I will see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Have a lovely morning, beautiful snacks. Hopefully you're able to go out for a walk or something and just keep enjoying. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, indeed, let us remember the responsibilities that we have, the roles that we have to play in our communities. Much love to all of you. Hugs, hugs, hugs. And I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with another exciting book in If You Come to Earth. That one will be coming to you from Sophie Blackwell. And of course, we'll be reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. And of course, today we got to enjoy a lovely book indeed, A Cub Story. This one coming to you from KRISTEN, TRACY, and illustrations by ALISSON, FARREL. Thank you for being here on Storytime. I will see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Please continue to send us those recommendations so we can bring them here to Storytime. Hugs, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All the reading, we just can't wait to be hearing. It's starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be